All right, so we got the pool down to about a quarter full, and I'm gonna start scraping the dirt off the bottom, getting it over to the port over there while it's pulling the water out over here through this hose through the yard. If you get all the dirt over here, it'll pull a lot of that dirt through the water, so you don't have to clean it as much. So that's what I'm doing. Well, we're back out here with the Coleman Power Steel Pool. We're breaking it down for the winter, so I was just going to bring you along and show you how to take it apart. We have the pool down to the drain level, you can see right there. So we're going to have to start taking it apart and then rolling it that way so that all the water goes out that way. So I'll show you how that's done. Alright, so you really want to start with your side poles. These are the ones that you guys talked to me about with the angle. And yeah, they do have an angle. Hey Liz, how we doing? And then Mister's over here biting on the ball, on the T for the pole. Great. So you just basically take these out of here. You just take them out of the holes, and then there's a sleeve down here that they fold into that pulls the bottom of the pool over, and you get off. You just get them all out of there. You just kind of pull up on the pool and pull them out. So. Alright, as you can see, I got the side posts off. These are the sleeves that the poles are, the U goes into, and then they set up in these little holes here. And then what the trick is to push these bottom ones down, and it expands the top ones, or unexpand, detracts them. So, and then you can pull. So you pull up on the bar once you're pulling these, and they come right out. So you can see this side as well, and then the little holes that they go into. What we're going to do next is we're going to collapse this side over here. So we're going to take the legs off, and we're going to take the poles out on this side. That way we can roll the pole up that way. Alright, so as soon as you take the legs out, the pole collapses, so that way you can get these poles out. They'll shoot this way, and then you keep that side up, and you roll. Once you get these poles out, you roll the liner that way towards the port, so they can get the rest of this water out of here. And that's what we're going to do. Just a side note, when you're pulling these out, you want to push them in, and if you have a screwdriver, you can actually push them up in, just like that, and that keeps them from popping out when you're trying to get the pole out itself. So I got four of those, and I'm about to break this apart. All right, so again, I use a hammer to kind of loosen the ends, so because you get all kinds of rust and dirt and crud in there, especially with it being a second year pole. It starts to rust and decay, really. So there was one end here that I bent, just being a little bit too impatient. So you'll see it later. But then I just go and pull the sides out, and I just pull this side pole out, which collapsed the pole, and water started to drain. All right, so I got this collapsed, and I'm using the pole ladder to hold this side up and let the rest of the water that wouldn't come pour out. And it looks like I'm flooding things here, but I already talked to the neighbor over there. They're cool with that, flooding their yard. and just have just a little bit more left. I didn't plan correctly, so I got all this stuff in the hole. So, but yeah, it's really easy to keep this frame together, because last year I took a frame apart and it's just kind of fell and the water got trapped, and this is a much better concept. And that way you can take the pool and kind of kick it over and let the frame go into the ground there, so you don't poke a hole in your pool. But yeah, just let it drain. You don't have to rush it. But the whole yard is just soaked. But it's just water at this point. Haven't had the chemicals for about a month. And yeah, I got a little bit of neighbor's yard flooding. Whoops. So this whole area, I meant for it to shoot out that way into the Netherlands, but when it goes, it goes. So I'll come back out and check this in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to drag the pool from the backyard all the way through here and land it on the driveway, so I can use the pressure washer to clean it up. Here we go. All right, well, here we go again. We're I'm out here on the driveway just cleaning the algae and moss and dirt and everything off the bottom of the pool. Looks like the bottom of the pool is worse than the actual liner, so I'll spare you the cleaning on the liner part. That was just cleaning all the chlorine out and stuff, but the bottom was really disgusting. So using a pressure washer and getting that off of there is totally worth it. And that way you can fold it without having the dirt and the yuck. Surprise for next year. So, all right, the pool's out here. It's as clean as I'm going to get it. I've sprayed it 3 times, and they're just, you know, this is the bottom. So the underneath it looks really good. So I'm going to attempt to fold this thing up. You can kind of see what direction you fold them in. You've got your braces here, but we'll see. It's been sitting out for a couple of years. So let's do this. All right, so basically what I did was I just rolled it on itself. I called it folding, and then I stepped down just to get the air out, kind of compress it a bit. And that's it. And then I just laid something heavy on it while it was in the sun. And all right, so look, we folded it up. That's about as much as I want to fold it. And then we'll leave it out here in the sun for a little while to kind of decompress. I put a heavier kiddie pool bag on top just to hold it, but it looks pretty good. Then we'll just store that for the winter. We'll bring it to the backyard and show you all the pieces that I took apart. All right, so the aftermath of the pool is where I always have this little indention in the yard, which we're gonna do something different next year. And then all the pieces, you got your ladder, and then you got all these legs and tall poles. These are the sides, and then the only one I messed up right here, I bent this one this year, so I'll have to fix that before next year, but it happens. A little bit of Kenny strength. So anyway, so then you just store these. I'm gonna put these in the garage in a nice safe place until next year. And then I'll get a bag for all these little pieces here, put them in a bag, probably a little duffel. So I'm gonna run off to Walmart and do that now. And then you store your pump, which I'll probably store it in the cooler, and then put the cooler in the garage. And then basically you just go through here and do maintenance. I'll probably put some seed down here, fertilizer, then cover it with grass clippings. and then let winter do its thing, and then clean up all the aftermath of the pool stuff. We have the sifter here, we have the filters, temperature, all the